So I've got two more components to do, and we're going to knock them out in this one video because they're both things that we've basically done before. We have a shaft here that is kind of a little bit different because it's rounded edge on there, but it's basically a bolt, and the other one over here is a nut that has been done in many different exercises. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to point out one thing though, since I'm looking at this assembly. If you notice, if I were to say something like, you see the green, the head of the bolt right here, and you go, wait a minute, so yeah, okay, yeah, of course. And what I'm doing is I'm rolling around because you're trying to get this plane system out of the way. And then you turn it this way, and you've got the planes. You got the origin set, that all the planes from each one of the parts that we have brought into the assembly here still showing. So when you're done with a part, I think you might consider doing this. So for example, right here, this is the plane system for the bolt, and here's the bolt over here. If you look down here, I am in part design mode. So just hold down, click one, hold down shift, get the other one, right click, hide show, and it gets rid of those. And so it's kind of a habit of mine that when I know that I'm completely done with a part, I hide any elements, like maybe I've got sketches that are showing construction elements, lines, and that sort of thing, and planes, that I was using for the design, but I don't need them any longer, and they're going to interfere with the visibility of the assembly. Go ahead and hide everything, and then don't forget to save it. All right, so we'll go over here to this. I've already got this set up to make a part. Go ahead and name it, and then we'll start making the bolt. The bolt is really pretty simple. So if we, we could take a peek back over here. The hole in the casing is 3/4 of an inch, so 0.75 inches. The head of this is going to be 1 inch, and the length going through, if you look right here, so again, pulley bolt. We start, I'll show you how we start here in a second. It's maybe a little bit different than what you're thinking. There's the fillet that goes right on there. And, this pad right there is actually the length of this bolt, you see, and so that's going to be 2.5 inches. So that's all the critical. Now the thing I was saying about what we're going to start with, we're going to go here, and I'm going to make the head of the fastener first. So I'll pick this. And is this crucial? Is this vital? No, not really. It was just a way that I thought I'd go about doing it. So I make sure vertical and horizontal are the correct way. I hit this, and that head I said is going to be 1 inch. So, oops, missed my menu there. Hit this, 1, enter, okay? Now, exit out, and then to pad this up, it again, if you look at the drawing over here, it's a bit of a guess. You can see that it's peeking out just a tiny little bit from the casing, so you can kind of use that as a guide if you want. I went with right here 0.125. So 0.125 will get it. It's a nice normal number that you find, but it doesn't quite stick out over the top. But I decided to leave it like that. Now you can make yours be whatever you like. 0.125. So I did a thing here. You can see I padded this off of this plane going towards the right. Now what I'm going to do for the threaded portion is I'm going to pick, I'm going to pick this plane. You can pick the back side, but it doesn't have to do with this particular point I'm making. If I pick this plane right there, and let's get that straightened out. Watch this. So if I go here and I make this 0.75, and I extrude this out, pad it out, 2.5 inches. Okay, so there's my bolt. Now, this has to do with links that I've been talking about, and this is hopefully a bit better opportunity to try to explain this. What are the links or the parent of, say, this item right here, this pad? Now, if I go over here, I can actually right-click on this, and I can see parent children, and that will tell me. So this pad right here, it's hard to see, so let me get this zoomed in. Zooming in this works the same as it does out here. Pad 2 is dependent upon sketch 2. That's the sketch we use to make it. That would make sense, right? What is sketch 2 dependent upon? If I double click it, it tells me that sketch 2 is dependent upon the ZX plane. And if I double click that, there's nothing more. That's the very end of all the links there. Nowhere in this did it say that pad 2 is dependent on this one here, which I'm presuming, yeah, there it is. It's pad 1. Okay, so let's cancel this, and let's check the parent children of that one. Okay, pad 1 is dependent on sketch 1 that made the entirety of the shape. Sketch 1 is on the ZX plane. Now, both of these are common to the ZX plane. You could actually even go so far in this story to make that be different as well. But here is how this is helpful. Imagine if I just made the pad, probably like you're thinking about doing, or maybe you did do already. You pad one of these things out, and then you click, say, on the face of this, and you go ahead and you make the next shape on that. So when you did that, that sketch is dependent upon, let's say, the plane of this face. And then that sketch, or I mean, then the pad right here that you'd be putting out over here would be dependent upon the sketch. So if I wanted to change something, say, for example, I wanted to delete pad 1. Maybe I didn't like this button style. Maybe we change our mind and said, you know what, we're not going to do a button style any longer. We're going to go with a hex. I could delete this pad right here. It's going to ask me if I want to delete all the aggregated elements, but that's not going to include everything. It's going to include all the parents and children of this object. So if I got rid of it, then it would just be gone, and this would still remain. I'm going to hit Control Z to undo that. In this case right here, in this story that I'm telling, yes, I could have a sketch. If I didn't want this to be a circle, I could go edit the sketch and I can change it to a hex. But hopefully you understand the point of what I'm making here, that depending upon how you make things, they're tied together in different ways. And if at some point in time in the future you don't, or you believe you're going to want to change some of these objects and you don't want that change to affect the other objects, make sure that you don't tie them together in this kind of way that I'm talking about, all right? So that's why I made this one here on that plane, not on this face. Okay, so to finish this one off, just a couple little things right here. We got to add a fillet to the face, or to that front face edge. I think I might have made it just 0.05. That seems pretty good. It might be a little bit more than that. Yeah, I'll go with that for right now. And then a thing that I like, just because it seems like it's kind of common to have on certain types of things, is or certain types of fasteners, is I'll put a chamfer right here on the edge, 0.05. Oops, that's too small. 0.05. There we go. It mechanically helps the fastener go together with the bolt a little bit better. Okay, so there is our bolt. I am a little bit dissatisfied with that one there, so I want to change that to 0.08. Yeah, okay, there we go. Now, give it a color if you like. And what was the other one? I don't know. We'll make this one be green. Hopefully I didn't use too many greens already. And then save that.